Hello, welcome to Sunday School. Today I have a great story to share with you from the Family Story Bible. We are on the third Sunday of Advent. It's Joy Sunday, so this is a story that's full of joy. It's called Mary Visits Her Cousin Elizabeth. Mary's cousin Elizabeth lived with her husband Zachariah in the hills. Elizabeth and Zachariah had always wanted to have a baby, but now they were growing old. Sometimes they didn't think they would ever have a child. One day, Zachariah was praying to God in the temple, and an angel came, just as an angel came to Mary. "God will give you and Elizabeth a baby," said the angel. "You will call him John. He will help many people to learn to love God." Zachariah shook his head. "You don't believe me?" said the angel to Zachariah. "Well, then you won't be able to talk until the baby's born." Well, when Zachariah came out of the temple, he couldn't say a word. He had to write when he wanted to tell people something. Meanwhile, Mary thought about what the angel had told her. Mary decided that since Elizabeth was also having a special baby, they should get together for a visit. It was a long walk to Elizabeth's house, but when Mary got near, she forgot about her tired feet. She was so happy to see Elizabeth and Zachariah, and from a long way off, she called as loudly as she could, "Elizabeth!" Elizabeth felt her baby move inside her. It was almost as if her baby had heard Mary call. "God must really love you," Elizabeth said to Mary. "God especially loves the child who's growing inside you." Mary was so happy she began to sing a song. Some of it went like this: "How good and wonderful is God! How very happy am I! God has been so good to me that from now on people will remember this wonderful thing God has done. How good and wonderful is God! How happy are God's people! God has been kind and good to the poor. Rich people will get nothing special. How good and wonderful is God! How good and happy are God's people!" Mary and her cousin Elizabeth had a wonderful time talking and laughing. Sometimes they cried a little because having a baby is a little bit scary. But they could feel their babies growing inside their bodies, and that made them happy. The two women stayed together for about 3 months. Then Mary decided it was time to go home to Joseph. After a while, Elizabeth's baby was born. He was a strong, healthy boy. She and Zachariah took the new baby to church, which was called a synagogue. They wanted to say thank you to God and to give the baby a name. Zachariah still couldn't talk. Everybody thought they would name the new baby after his father, Zachariah. "No," said Elizabeth. "This baby's name is John." All the people in the synagogue looked at Zachariah. They thought he'd be upset. Just then, Zachariah found he could talk again. In a loud voice, he said, "His name is John." Everyone was surprised. They wondered about the strange things that had happened to Elizabeth and Zachariah while they had their baby. They wondered if this baby would be a special kind of person. Well, that baby grew up to be called John the Baptist. That's our story from the Family Story Bible for today. Thanks for joining me.